lot here off that right end zone. Straight up and across the top. Less than 30 seconds after breaking ground. She's upside down, coming right back at us. Ladies and gentlemen, give a great big fire welcome to the now she rolls that airplane right down the show line as we watch Susan fly. She's been flying. She was only 16 years old in the classic yellow and black Piper Cub. She's able to fly aircraft all the way through to the big 787 Dreamliner. She's captain in the Boeing 727, the Boeing 757, 67, as well as the 787 Dreamliner and also the MD-80. So a well-polished pilot. Listen to this, folks. She has over 39,000 flying hours. There are about 8,800 total hours during 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year. So that means Susan has over 4.5 years of her life she's been flying in airplanes. That's pretty impressive. As we watch her come back around out here off of airshow right. Nose down, power up as she accelerates from our right end zone. As she extends out here from airshow right, coming right back at us here. Bring her head right back down onto the deck out here. As she accelerates out through 170, 180 miles an hour, she brings that stick back in her lap. You'll notice this airplane is very nicely, the paint job is coordinated to give you a great idea which side you're looking at. When you see that sunburst design like we're seeing right now, that is the top side of the airplane. When we look at the bottom side, we see that started its life back in 1942 when it was built and sold brand spanking new. It went to work as a primary trainer. It was known as a PT-17. At that time, it would have had a blue fuselage, yellow wings, much like number 99 that is on the ramp here today. Originally powered by a 220 horsepower, 7-cylinder Continental radial engine. As we watch out here on the show, between 8 and 10 hours total, or they would voice out of the flight program. Something that's interesting with that, if you airplanes today that's been restored, that your insurance company is normally going to make a very fully licensed and qualified pilot take about 25 hours of flight instruction before they will insure them to fly by themselves. So quite a difference there in the motivation of a war effort. But right now, as we watch Susan bring that big Stearman back around again, there were 10,000 of these Stearman biplanes built during the World War II time frame. And right now, there are almost 2,000 of them that are still out there and still flying, which is an incredible rate considering that the last one was built. So, looking at 81 years ago since one's been built, we still have a couple thousand of these out there. Following World War II, they were sold surplus, and they were sold surplus. I'd see the bills of sales on some. They sold for about $600, and that was with 46 gallons of high test in the gas tank. So, quite a difference there. Airplanes that came along, these were the crop duster choice through the rest of the 40s, 70s, and by the 1980s, specific built aerial applicating aircraft were coming out of the market, and most of the Stearmans were then sold. Converted back to their original configuration in the out here. Yellow were the late war silver airplanes. Of course, some went to Canada where they're known as a PT-27. But yeah, these airplanes always had a reason to be out there. So over the last 30 years or so, showing these colors and absolutely been restored. Supercharged, fuel injected, Pratt Whitney radial engine. It's ready for low-level airshow aerobatic flight. She has inverted fuel and oil systems to allow the engine to run while upside down. And also, they put that great airshow smoke system on the airplane. As we watch her just tearing the skies up for us here today, Susan has been a professional airshow performer for over 30 years, and we're thrilled to have her here with us flying Big Red. She's actually been flying Stearman since she was 17 years old. She has an original 220 horsepower version of Stearman that she's had since she was a teenager. She actually, instead of taking the car down to school, when she went from Northern Illinois down to Southern Illinois University down in Carbondale, she actually took her Stearman biplane to school, and what a treat that had to be. As we watch her do a beautiful hesitation roll right down our show line here. Going right on through. Again, that is an open her performance set Barnstorming here. Time frame was flying was new, and the very in the world as we watch the time that sky and that 490-degree slices right down our show line, exiting air show right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a great big aisle of hand to Susan Dacy. The opportunity for people to take a ride around the area. You know, you can see your house from up here, and again, they would come to a town like Clinton, and they could work that airport when you get there, and they would come to the edge of town, and they'd say, you see a local farm that had a nice hayfield that was really close to the edge of town, and they'd stop there, they'd go, hey, Mr. Farmer, is it okay if I use your hayfield for a temporary airport here for 2 or 3 days while I try to sell rides to everybody in the community? And at the end of those 3 days, I'll take you and your family out for a cruise. So, again, they would as we watch her go down the show line there, just beautiful display of that big Stearman biplane. Again, they make those arrangements with that farmer to use that hayfield. This is her for dinner as we watch Susan rolling down the show line right here. She gives that traditional show out at the